asks, where are you from and how old are you? I am from Ohio, and I am currently 20 years old. On to the next, which is from Seamelon, and they ask, if you are forced to live in a horror movie, which one would you choose? That's a good question. I think I would definitely have to pick Halloween, just because it's my, by far my favorite horror franchise, and I live in a small town, and I've always kind of thought that it reminded me of Haddonfield a little bit, so I think that would make the most sense, although I would probably get absolutely slaughtered. Next question comes from Angelique. I hope I'm saying that right. They ask, who are your favorite artists? A few of my favorite artists currently are Corbin. He just released an album and I like it a lot, so I've been listening to that. Midnight Cherast just released as well. I've been listening to that. I Dress, I like a lot. I saw him live, got a picture with him last year. That was one of the craziest experiences of my life. That was insane. I'm a big fan of Bobby Rabs as well, and a big fan of Joji. Me and my brother grew up listening to a bunch of Michael Jackson, so those are just a few of my favorite artists. On to the next, let's see. Morita asks, what are your favorite triggers and dislike triggers? My favorite triggers are just, honestly, just a soft, gentle whisper, and I also like when people do soft-spoken to whispering. I think that sounds really good. And then I also like measuring videos. When people take measurements, I like that a lot. And dislike triggers, I hate mouse sounds. That's definitely my least favorite trigger. The next question comes from, I don't even know how to pronounce that. I'm not gonna try, but I appreciate you still. And they ask, I would like to know your favorite series, maybe a list of them all. My favorite series of all time is definitely The Simpsons. And behind that would have to be King of Queens and Everybody Loves Raymond. I love both of those. 2.5 Men with Charlie Sheen is very, it's up there too for me. Yeah, those are just a few. Alrighty, next question comes from V, and they ask, what is your comfort food and do you enjoy cooking? Well, my favorite food is spaghetti and meatballs, so I'd probably say it's my comfort food as well, because I'm never not happy when I'm eating spaghetti and meatballs. Maybe a little bit of garlic toast or a breadstick or something like that on the side. I was gonna say French stick, I don't know what that means. And do you enjoy cooking? I actually really don't cook at all, but I would love to learn, and I definitely need to start cooking more for myself. And it'd also be nice to learn to bake some stuff too, to have a signature dish to bring to like family gatherings and stuff. So I definitely need to learn and want to learn. Next question comes from Starlight, and they ask, what's your favorite video game? My favorite video game of all time is definitely Simpsons Hit and Run, and probably right behind it is NBA 2K13, I would have to say. Next question comes from JMD, and they ask, what got you into the more vintage technology and media? I grew up watching a lot of Cinemassacre on YouTube, Angry Video Game Nerd, so I'd probably say that's what it mainly stems from. But yeah, I've just always found it interesting and just been attracted to it. You know, it kind of just reminds me of like my grandma's house when we were younger. We had a bunch of old stuff, so it's just kind of nostalgic, you know. I like having that stuff. 3D asks, have you ever seen something? Probably, yeah. Next question comes from movebean, and they ask, cricket soup or expired peanut soup? Definitely expired peanut soup, but it's gotta be piping hot. I'm talking boiling. The AC just kicked on, but I'm gonna keep recording. Next questions come from Nina. What do we have here? If you had to live for a month in the last video game you played, what would be your chances of survival? I think Fortnite was the last video game I played, and I'm washed up, so I'd probably get slaughtered in there as well. Like I would get slaughtered by Michael Myers. If you could be any pizza topping, which one would you be and why? That's an interesting question. I'd probably have to say banana peppers. I don't know why. Nina also asks, how would you feel if you got recognized in public? That'd be scary. I'd probably be really awkward and not know how to react. I don't know. I honestly don't know. Do you have a life motto that you live by? Probably just kill them with kindness. Kill them with kindness. I think it's something I live by. And especially when people are mean to you, you should be nice back to them. And then if they're still mean, that's perfect, because then you know that's someone that you never need to be around. And yeah, next question comes from breadman. They ask, have you ever visited any other countries before? If so, what are they? And what are your thoughts on Australia? I've never visited any countries before. Never. But I definitely want to. And what are your thoughts on Australia? Australia is pretty cool. I'd like to visit Australia. Not necessarily for the place, but just I feel like Australians are just cool people in general, and they're all really nice. So I'd definitely be down to go chill over there. Next question comes from James, and they ask, was it Beauty that killed the Beast? Yes, it was. Next question comes from Evangelisa, and they ask, what's your favorite thing about posting, dawg? It's definitely just seeing everyone comment and just kind of the sense of community we have around here. It's the best, and I appreciate each and every single one of you so much. And I love you. For real. Next question comes from Chuntao. They ask, are you a fan of any horror media that's obscure / not really known? I don't really think so, but I remember when I was little, we watched a bunch of like creepypastas, even like some that were new at the time and not well known. We were just super big into that. Me, my brother, my cousin, and then there's another friend I watched them with as well. But yeah, so not really. That really didn't answer the question at all. I don't know why I just said that. No. Next question comes from Mist, and they ask, are you still making music? Where can we listen to it? Yes, I am. It's on Spotify. It's like on all platforms, actually, I think. Just under Mr. Boogeyman. I'll have to leave a link in the description to it. And I have another YouTube channel that I linked in the community post before, except I think I deleted it. I'm gonna upload music videos on there, and just some other random stuff. That channel is just called Mr. Boogeyman. But yeah, I have the next 2 songs that I need to record. I need to finish writing the one, but yeah, I love making music. I make it all the time. Next question comes from Bunny, and they ask, if you were a perfume, what would you smell like? If you were a cartoon character, who would you be? Well, I've been told that I smell like fresh linen, fresh laundry before. So, probably that, I guess. And if you were a cartoon character, who would you be? That's a good question. I'd probably pick the dog from Johnny Test, I think. I don't remember the name. But, yeah. The AC stopped. Let's go. Soba asks, what are your hobbies? Well, I like to make ASMR videos. I like to make music. I like to go on long walks a lot. I like to go thrifting. And what else would be considered a hobby? I like to go fishing too, which I haven't been able to do, but now that it's warmer, it's about time to go start fishing again, so I'm excited for that. Next question comes from Bungle, and they ask, do you believe that world peace or utopia is truly attainable? And if so, what steps do you think are required to get there? Definitely not, I would say. And if you were on death row, what would your last meal of choice be? Probably spaghetti and meatballs. Maybe my grandma's meatloaf, which meatloaf always sounds gross, but my grandma's is really good. As a matter of fact, I'm having it for dinner tonight, and I am fucking pumped. Next question comes from Daniella. They ask, how tall are you? I am exactly 6 foot without shoes on. Next question comes from Malia, and they ask, if you could have any superpower, what would it be? It would definitely be flying. You know, instead of going on like a nightly walk, just to go on like a little nightly flight. That'd be super chill. Next question comes from Yori, and they ask, what made you want to continue ASMR? Is it a hobby now, or is it truly a passion of yours now? Or do you ever plan on stopping one day and starting a new path in life? No, I mean, I love ASMR very much. And I've just always wanted to be a YouTuber and be successful on YouTube, because I just watched so much YouTube as a kid. And I definitely do not plan on stopping. And I would, in the end, hopefully grow this channel very much, and then pursue music as well on the other channel, and maybe filmmaking. I'd like to make some movies, write some movies, produce some movies maybe sometime, for sure. But I would say it's a passion. Yes, I love ASMR. Next question comes from Emely, and they ask, if you could know the truth about one mystery in the world, what would it be? That's a good question. I would probably just want to know how the Egyptians built the pyramids. Was it just a bunch of slave labor, or what? You know, what was going on? I'd be interested to know that. The next question comes from a rookieboi, and they ask, are you going to grow your hair long again, or keeping it short? I think I'm gonna let it grow for probably another month and a half, 2 months, I don't know, and then kind of keep it at a 6 weeks left last spring to finish my associate's degree in digital marketing and media, but I dropped out. Yeah, so I'm not in school. I'm not gonna go back either, I don't think. The next question comes from Jade, and they ask, favorite wrestling rivalry, men and women? That's a good question. For men, it'd probably have to be like John Cena and Randy Orton in the early 2010s. They used to go at it, and that was big. As far as women go, it would probably have to be, definitely Trish Stratus and Lita. Definitely that one. Next question comes from Palta. They ask, what camera do you use? It is the beautiful Sony DCR SR42, of course. Next question comes from George Washington. Shout out. Who's your favorite U.S. president? There's only one right answer. I hope you can forgive me, George, but I'm gonna have to say Abraham Lincoln, because I watched a movie of him killing vampires, and I love vampires, so that's pretty sick. And I'd have to give an honorable mention to Calvin Coolidge, because I did a 4th grade presentation on him, and he's like always just been stuck in my mind. So shout out Calvin Coolidge, the 30th president of the U.S. Next question comes from Knox, and they ask, what are your top 3 favorite albums, and how would you describe your music, or your taste in music? My top 3 favorite albums of all time are number 1, Ballads 1 by Joji, number 2, Mourn by Corbin, and number 3, Beauty Behind the Madness by The Weeknd. How would I describe my taste in music? Well, recently, in the past few years, I've just been big into like indie and bedroom pop type sound. But I don't know, I can enjoy pretty much everything. I don't listen to country, that's like, or EDM, those are like the two I don't listen to, but other than that, I don't know. I have a pretty broad taste, I think. Next question comes from Kat, and they ask, what's a movie/TV show that you think about very often, or has highly affected you? Probably definitely The Simpsons, but also probably Regular Show and The Amazing World of Gumball, because I watched both of those all the time as they were releasing. Used to watch those after we got home from school every single day, and but both of those shows are just 10 out of 10 perfect to me. So yeah, I can also do a pretty good Pops impression in my opinion. So I will have to leave that at the end of this video. Stay tuned. Next question comes from V, and they ask, what inspired your idea for your ASMR style? Well, I just bought a camcorder on eBay because I wanted to start just recording, just whatever in life with a camcorder, because it just looks so cool. Then after I got it, I was like, oh, I should definitely make an ASMR channel with this, because I thought it'd be kind of unique, and I just thought it was a really good idea. So I made Mr. Boogeyman ASMR. That's probably the best decision I've ever made in my life, to be honest, not even joking. Let's freaking go. Next question comes from Sid. They ask, how long have you been doing art? Your intro is amazing. Well, thank you very much. I don't know. I've always liked art class when I was a kid, and just expressing to say, if that makes sense. So I just instead, express that through art. I guess I've been just kind of doing that for a lot since like 8th grade, to answer your question. Sorry, I just rambled. Next question comes from dszn, and they ask, how do you see ASMR evolving over the coming years, and who has inspired you in the ASMR community? Well, how do I see ASMR evolving over the coming years? That's an interesting question. I don't really know. I kinda just, ever since I made this channel, like my ASMR consumption has probably gone down like 95% than what it used to be. And I don't really pay attention to much else other than just this channel and just focusing on growing it. So, I'm not sure how it's going to evolve. That's a good question. And as far as inspiration from the ASMR community, it's also a good question. I think Manolo ASMR is definitely one of the channels to kind of use the type of nostalgic vibe. So, a big shout out to Manolo ASMR. He definitely inspired me a little bit, or not a little bit, a lot. And I don't know. I take a lot of inspiration from you guys, really. It's all of you, all of you, all of you cool people. I love you so much. Next question comes from Goth, and they ask, would any ASMR collabs be possible in the future? Yes, of course. I need to reach out to people. I had like a few collabs lined up, but then I was kind of slow with making videos just on this channel, and then I never reached back out. But yeah, I would love to collab with a bunch of people, and I really, really, really want to make an ASMR video in real life with another ASMR artist sooner than later. I think that would be a lot of fun. The next question comes from Abigail, and they ask, I was wondering what triggers are your favorite to do? That's a good question. I like lunch tracing. That's probably my favorite. Yeah. Next question comes from WTF is happening. And they ask, do you have any completed scripts or short films? Or working on some apart from your ASMR film work, and will you share them anytime soon? I don't have any scripts or anything written down, but I definitely do plan on making some short films. I'll definitely post those on the other channel that I'm gonna upload music on. But yeah, me and my friends, my friend wants to make some too. So we'll definitely have to work together and start cooking up some ideas. I think that would be lots of fun, lots of fun. Next question comes from Tired Lee. Do you paint? No, I do not. Olivia Adams asks, top 5 movies of all time. That's a good question. Number 1 is The Santa Claus. Number 2 would probably have to be Halloween. Number 3 is Hocus Pocus. I don't know. Well, Hocus Pocus and Halloween are like kind of tied for second place, maybe. Then 4th would probably be Goonies, The Goonies, The Goonies. And 5th would be maybe Black Christmas. Black Christmas. The original one. The next question comes from Irene, and they ask, do you like to read? If so, what genres? Otherwise, I'd like to know more let's